We're live. We're live.
We're running right now, and coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. True love.
Woo!
Give me that good love. Oh my God. I know, guys. The other day I was supposed to be here, but something happened. And I'm not going to get into it because it's going to be fairly obvious once I fall again. I'm only kidding. This happened because, remember, I was in an Uber accident, and that's why I'm off balance. Never mind the City Parks and Recreation of New York. I want to thank them. They were so kind. I had a little spill, and they were there like that. They were there so fast. It was unbelievable. But then they cut my shirt, and then they cut my bra. And, yes.
For your finger?
No, for my head.
Oh.
Because that'll happen. Series of things happen there. It's a place that you never want to be because people said that there's crazy people there. I could go there for the week. It was beautiful. I couldn't believe it. The food looked great. But I'm not going to get into all that because I have to get myself back to where we are. And right now, this is all I've heard the last 48 hours. Ready? What day is this? Why are you asking me this, sir? I would know what day it is before the concussion, okay? It's either Manic Monday, Wacky Wednesday, or whatever, Freaky Friday. But other than that, I don't know what's going on. But I had a series of events happen, and I'm so glad I have new friends that are coming on board that we met. Brayton, who did I get in here? Oh, I met so many interesting people. I met a woman who's watching tonight. Both of her daughters are models. Her son's name is Jordan. He's a model. And what it is that you gotta learn not to touch that microphone like you used to. You have a broken finger. Hey, did you feel that? Did you feel that?
Did you feel that?
Did you feel that? Oh, that's a personal joke between me and Aaron McIntyre, who, you know, he's very, very happy and glad and everything, and tries to make me come out of my shell. And I got this sciatica one day, and he's telling me, he goes, I have an exercise for you. And he says to me, okay, plant both hands behind you. He's telling me what to do. Beep, bop, bo. All of a sudden, something goes right up the back of my neck. I heard it through the Grand Canyon. He says, do you feel that? He's on the phone. That's pretty impressive, and he's on the phone. What am I going to do? So if you guys who are watching, my name is Sundar Kronquist, the missing host. I've been missing. Yes. We're glad that Jake Reynolds is back, though, I can tell you that much. That's back. That's good. I just got a phone call for a female named Helen, but I'm not going to deal with that this week. Jake is back. Helen's back. If you guys are interested in going to the Comedy Store for Pauly Shore Alumni Show, and you want to get on the guest list, there's no cock and bull. You have to buy 2 drinks and act like you got some sense when you come see me. You're gonna have a good time. You should come because it's gonna be a way to see the way comedy really was, you know, as opposed to it's so easy now. It's so easy. So I texted my girlfriend, right, and she got a period, so it was like CSI scene. Son, that killed in Oregon. I almost got killed in Oregon. Why? Because I was wearing a fur coat. Who knew that? Did you know you can't wear a fur coat? No, I know I should never be in a place that has a billboard that says, yes, there are black people in Oregon. That's something scary, and I saw that. And you're all wondering, where are my teeth? So am I. All right, my dentist, how this all happened, it's not a rant. If you want to know who he is, you all know. It's Dr. Stephen Roth, and it's called Smiles Change Lives, which they do. Because when I went out for that Tuesday, for my appointment, he said, I'm in next Tuesday. And then when I went that next Tuesday, he didn't come out and see me, and I said, this ain't good news. He's trying to hide out. Like, when your dentist comes out, right, and, like, he used to think he was, I mean, he wasn't all that to me because my husband's gorgeous. But when he first came out to me, like, you know, everybody was like, oh, my God, he looks like George Clooney. I look like a jack-o'-lantern, that's all I'm saying. And I'm not talking badly about you, but you let me down. You let me down. Don't ever let me down my teeth. And did you just call me Jewish? Did you just call me Jewish again, Mark? So he's always saying to me, so Jewish. Because he doesn't like Jewish women. That's what he told me. He's telling me he's never dating another Jewish woman as long as he lives. He has no idea who he's talking to.
Oh, he said as long as he lives.
It's true, but I got something that could beat that with a baseball bat. I went and had a bite at a sushi joint, and the chick says to me, "Yeah, she's like, "Sei gesund, have a good Yom Tov." Anyway, she was Chinese speaking fluent Hebrew, and that was really impressive. That really was, though, because she didn't get my order straight, but she was able to do that straight. So, speaking of straight, I am scared straight. I will never go outside again. I'm so afraid of falling. It's unbelievable. Do you guys see the same thing I see? Like the orb? You don't see the orb?
No, there's no orb.
Well, there was going to be an orb. We have so much going on. I'm so full of energy, but I do want to tell you this. If you yawn like that again in this room.
Deeply.
He breathed it deeply. I wanted to say that this after-school program that we're offering here is fantastic. It's a chance for your kids to get off the tablet for at least 90 minutes. We have a selection. You could do acting, improv, stand-up. Aaron McIntyre is in charge of oh my God, it's the Film Actors Shop.
Cafe.
No, cafe.
It's a cafe.
It's a cafe. But there's no coffee. But that's okay. We're going to give coffee to all of your kids after school. And then send them home. Wouldn't that be terrible? That's funny. But they're very interested, Aaron.
That's good.
Yeah. It's really interesting. I'm going to bring up this gentleman who knows how to sigh and yawn more than a hippopotamus in heels. And that's usually me. But that's okay, because I can't eat anymore. But I'd like to hear what he has to say. You know, I missed a lot because I was in New York. But that's a whole other story. And Cheeto, I hope you feel better. I told Rose to say hi. Let's give it up for Mark Saffron, America's sweetheart. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, let's hear it for Johnny V. Johnny V.
Stop. Don't be John.
See, she don't care about slander. She worried about slandering people. I don't care. So she was talking about Dr. Steven. He's lucky that I don't have a gun.
Mark!
I mean it. This
Oh
thing with
my
Charlie Kirk
God.
getting shot makes you think twice about statements like that. But I heard a story about a man actually came into his office because he was dissatisfied with the teeth with a gun. But the worst thing about his office, and she knows who she is the woman at the door. Here this man would hurt you, do terrible work. I came in once, I didn't need caps. I didn't need whatever the hell he put on my teeth. I had 3 fillings. And my wife, who thinks she's a dentist, decided I had to get whatever they are, veneers or caps.
No.
This man destroyed my teeth. He ground them down into little nubs. Looked like a flat-chested girl. I mean it.
You would know.
Please. We've had him in here. Anyhow, not to mention things, but the truth of the matter is, ground him down to nubs. Every single one he put into my mouth was defective. I finally said, I'm not paying you. I walk out and there's his whatever his person, Gunga Din. So she started messing with me about money. I said, you got to be kidding. I said, you better shut up because that man ain't getting another penny out of me. Then my wife goes back in. I say, you better not pay him. She enters into a payment plan. I stopped the American Express. Everything put into my mouth was defective. And let me tell you about dentists. Dentists don't stand behind their product. They always have an excuse. First of all, while they're busy drilling your teeth, they're also busy playing with their dental assistant. They're all perverts. All right? Isn't a dentist alive? Isn't a pervert? The reason why they have a high degree of suicide is because they're worried about their wife divorcing them. All right? The second thing they do is that they don't pay attention. So they grind your teeth down until there's nothing there, and they use this superior knowledge crap. Like, well, you're not a dentist. You don't know what's right. No, but I know that I don't have teeth anymore. I mean, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to see what you did to my mouth, looking like a goddamn jack-o'-lantern. And then the worst is they always blame it on the lab. The fact that they're getting a kickback from the lab doesn't bother them. But the greatest thing the dentist ever did was he did all this work in my mouth, then takes me over to this brand new 360-degree X-ray machine he has. Well, let's do it. I said, well, wasn't the work finished? He goes, yeah, but I need it for the insurance company. I said, aren't they going to know that it was before and after? Then I went to a legitimate dentist, all right, where I had to go because of the wonderful work after one cracked, I ended up needing a root canal. Now let's talk about root canals. I didn't feel a thing. I don't know why they all claim about root canals. There's a secret to root canals. Nitrous oxide. Problem is that all these dentists out here in California are wusses. They refuse to get, oh no, we need an anesthesiologist in here. I said, no, all you need is a tank and a gas mask. I said, I've done worse. Nitrous oxide is the minimal thing that I put in my body. And besides which, I can always go down the corner and get myself a whippet carriage. I said, let's face the facts of life. There's a lot of nitrous going around. They won't give you nitrous oxide. And I finally figured out why. It costs money. There is nothing cheaper than a dentist. My dentist out here is complaining about his Ferrari. And then he worries that his boyfriend may have scratched it up. I said, you shouldn't have a Ferrari. See, this is why Bernie Sanders hates billionaires. It isn't billionaires that him and Elizabeth, look at Elizabeth Warren's teeth, right? They're not real. But that's why she hates dentists. Because she got a $250,000 bill and couldn't figure out how to get one of her donors to pay for her to take it out of her what do they call them, donations. All right? So while we're talking about politicians, late night talk show hosts shouldn't be politicians. And they shouldn't get political. 2 down as of today. Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel. So Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders wanted, and of course some of the rest of the crowd wanted to have an investigation as to whether or not Colbert was thrown off the air because of his political affiliations or going after Donald Trump, or that Donald Trump forced CBS to do it. Let's take the receipts. Colbert was getting $16 million a year for boring me. On top of that, the show was losing $45 million a year. He had 200 employees writing for him. If you have that many writers, you should at least say something funny. And on top of that, he's claiming that it was politically motivated. No, schmuck, because you are a schmuck. All right? You should have stayed with the Jon Stewart show, wherever you were. I said, at the end of the day, $45 million is a lot more money than I have, and you were paid $16 million to lose 45. Do you know what they call that in anybody's book? Failure. And today, who did they get? Kimmel. Learn to wait before you open your mouth. That is the bottom line explanation as to why Kimmel got kicked off the air today. You don't get up there and starts claiming that some lunatic did it because he was MAGA. Meanwhile, the MAGA person in his house turned him in because he was disgusted that his son went and shot somebody in open field. All right? This had nothing to do with MAGA. I don't care who did it. I ain't going to get political about who did it. We all know who did it. Aaron in his Democrat corner over there, he knows who did it, and he knows why. All right? But Jimmy lost his job. Now we got to figure out how to take away his money. So I think what's going to happen is Charlie Kirk's wife is going to sue him. They're going to take every penny. Then who's left? Oh, one more to go. Joy Behar, Sonny Hostin, and Whoopi Goldberg also came up with the same crap. Once The View is off the air, there's room for more comedians. All right? Little known fact, that was Sunda's job at The View. She didn't want to read newspapers, so Joy got it. She was stupid enough to suggest Joy. All right? I don't know why women are afraid of taking work. I mean, they used to take in washing. They used to do the fields. They did good earth. They picked cotton.
Who picked cotton?
No, you didn't pick cotton. Sorry.
No, it was
picked rice. It wasn't a Jew. It wasn't the Jew. Jews don't pick cotton, honey.
They sell
We
it.
buy it.
Okay.
We sell it. We don't pick it. All right? In fact, nobody picks it anymore. They got a machine that does it. Wait till you try to see AI picking cotton. All right? Or Nancy Pelosi's grapes. Now that claiming that her husband, now all that stuff about her husband being a political hit job, no, that was his boyfriend. There's no question in my mind he was up to something shady, or something behind her back. Look, she's in Washington, doing God knows what, wearing those stupid scarves. He's standing there alone. God knows what he's up to. He's an old pervert. See, you're a public figure, Mr. Pelosi. You can't be slandered. At the end, comics, which I'm really not, have a right of free expression in this country. We want free speech. Free speech means that Chappelle, who's the only one who believes in it, and Rogan can get on stage and say what they want. They're not anti-anything. They hate everybody. They do. Comics hate everybody. Don't feel bad if they make fun of you. It has nothing to do with your beliefs. If you want to believe that you're a dog, you can be a furry. All right? I don't believe you're a dog. Your ears don't quite do it. If you want to believe that you're a woman and you're a man, gehen gesundheit. I don't care. Not my problem. All right? But don't try to make me believe it. You can believe it all you want. You can go off in your corner, do what you wish. Just don't force me to sign on to your delusions. That's what it is. My freedom is not to believe every piece of crap that somebody says to me. I don't believe what the government tells me. They're all full of shit. And I don't believe any idiot that comes up to me and says, oh, by the way, my name is, I'm they. I don't care who you are. I don't tell anybody my pronouns anymore. I've gotten in trouble for that. All right? You got to watch it. You don't know. They should be wearing big signs. They, them. You want people to call you by the right pronoun? Get shirts that say they. My pronouns are they, them. And make it a mandatory thing because you should be sued if you don't wear your shirt. Right? I have a right to make sure that anybody who wants to be called by a particular pronoun has to wear a shirt or a name badge that says, my pronouns are they, them. I may be stupid, but my pronouns are they, them. Oh, and by the way, I'm transgender. Right? At least give us a heads up. Instead of complaining that we're misgendering you, we're using your dead name. We didn't know what your fucking name was to begin with. We're looking at it on a piece of paper. Come on, give me a break. Oh yeah, so a cop takes your driver's license and it looks and it says Edna. And you're not Edna anymore. What do you get? Oh, you use my dead name? Sorry, miss, get out of the car. What do you mean get out of the car? You just micro-triggered me. Oh my God, I thought this was a safe place. And the cop goes, not at 80 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour school zone. You're not safe with any speed. Thank you.
Whoa! Watch out! Wow! Good job! There goes my job at CBS. I'm kidding. Listen, I feel so bad.
You should have me on.
I want, yeah, that's gonna really work as we're jumping off the roof. Because Mark, you do speak the truth. You do. But the content was made by a black man.
I was right 10 years ago.
We're not having a therapy session.
And Jimmy Carter was the plan.
Oh my God. You know how serious I am about this Jimmy Carter thing? It's enough. That's why we are working towards May. I am so happy you will be quiet about this because we're having a show produced here that I'm excited about. We're going to do it for the festival, the Cinco de Mayo, and hopefully we'll have it sponsored by Pueblo because a lot of people want this. And we have to make America back to what it used to be over here. Like Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, and of course Ramirez. Let's give it up for the one and only Millie Muchacho. Oh!
Millie Ramirez!
¿Qué pasa, familia? Todos aquí que están aquí con los, whatever. I like to open in Spanish sometimes because I look like I might not be able to do it. It feels like a magic trick. In this day and age, actually, it's kind of nice feeling like an undercover Latino because I look far more likely to be mistaken for ICE than to be taken by ICE. I don't know if you can tell by the anything. I am first generation Mexican American. ¿Qué pasa, familia? What are they? I've never been able to do that whistle. If I could, everywhere I'd go would sound like an aviary or a bird store or whatever. Yeah, just a first generation Mexican American. I've struggled with confidence and anxiety issues my entire life, and I think I figured out exactly why that is. I think it's because I was raised under the rule of La Chancla. I don't know if you're familiar with La Chancla, but if you're not, for some mothers it's a piece of footwear, like a sandal, and / or a disciplinary device. And my mom was lethal with it. She could deploy it short range very quickly and smack me upside the face before I even knew it. Like she was trying to win one of those power slap competitions, power chancla slap. And then, but more scary than that was she could deploy it long range somehow. So like if I was in my room playing Super Mario Kart, the OG, and she thought I was screwing around, from around the corner would come a chancla and smack me upside the head, and then it would somehow return to her. I don't know how she figured out how to boomerang a chancla. As far as I know, she never met an Australian, been to Australia. She somehow turned herself into Chancla Dundee. He was like, oh, you call this a chancla? That's a chancla, whatever. Yeah, she had a global flair to her chancla throwing. She spanned both hemispheres. You know, she could throw it, she could boomerang it like an Australian, but with the precision of a Dominican relief pitcher. Yeah, so, but this confidence issues, anxiety, sometimes, for a while there, it made me believe that I didn't have any stories about, you know, that I wasn't funny enough to be a comedian, but, you know, I realized I just have to start organizing this hoarder's episode of a brain that I have, you know, it's, like, it's just, like, the garage is full of empties from a past drinking problem, and physical copies of Smokey and the Bandit, which is my favorite movie, still have it on VHS. And then the guest room is full of useless trivia about 1990s NHL goalies. Like, for example, here's my top 3 favorite 1990s NHL goalie names in descending order. Are you ready? Number 3, Darren Pupa. Number 2, Pokey Reddick. And number 1, Ron Tugnutt. Those are all real names. Honorable mention goes to Darcy Wakaluk, because Wakaluk sounds like something I would say when I stub my toe in the dark. But then, yeah, so I just have to start, and then the rest of the house is just chock full of stuff to the rafters with the pure uncut childhood trauma stuffed in boxes labeled, open at your own risk. But for comedy purposes, I'm going to take that risk, you know. And also, I'm going to start tapping into this delicious comedy elixir that's been cascaded inside of me for decades, you know, that has subtle hints of people-pleasing and shame, and very strong notes of emotionally unavailable parents. And speaking of parents, speaking of stories, here's one. I am pretty sure that my dad killed my mom, and I think he did it using poison beans. Yes, all right, bear with me here. Poison beans, okay? So, my mom went toe-to-toe with cancer for 19 years. But then she passes away just a couple days after. My dad leaves her to go move to live with family from his first marriage, and before he did that, he left her some beans. Literally, the last conversation I had with my mom was about beans. So then, my brother and I were packing up her apartment after she passed away, and there on the stove was a fresh batch of beans that my mom had made and was eating one. She keeled over, right? And yeah, I know the poison bean sounds ridiculous. It also sounds like a ska band from Bakersfield from the 90s, you know. But just keep in mind this. When I was a kid, my family, we lived in Mexico with our grandma. And we lived there for 3 years. And when we came back, my dad developed a flesh-eating infection in his leg, okay? And he claims that the cause of it was that an enemy from the town we lived in poisoned his tortillas with dirt from a cemetery. Okay? So when you have that information already in the back of your head, poison beans doesn't sound that weird, does it? My mom either died from cancer or refried beans. Re-dyed beans, who knows. You know, but my parents, they did their best. You know, they tried their best. But they sent my brother and I both to college. We both graduated. But at the same time, somebody's best could be a C-, okay?
Right.
And then sometimes when I'm hanging out in my not house or just lying in bed completely alone from all the relationships that I ever thought I never just pursued, and then or reviewing my portfolio, which is nothing more than an old trapper keeper full of coupons, I wonder, like, what heights could I have reached if I had taken fewer chanclasos growing up? Fewer chancla smacks. Which, by the way, chancla smacks are part of a delicious, nutritious, well-rounded Latino breakfast. You can find chancla smacks in the cereal next to special que pasa cabrón and honey nut pendejos. Yeah. That's kind of clever, right? Maybe I could have been a VP of marketing at some Fortune 500 company, you know, with one of those KY 401s or whatever it's called. But instead I got 5 different hustles going on to try to get by. One of which is doing moving work, which is fine because it brings in money, and also sometimes I don't feel Mexican enough, so it's nice to do some manual labor every now and then. And plus, with ice ring around, I can easily pick up a shift in front of Home Depot and I award it. You know? Or maybe I could have been one of those successful bilingual lawyers with the billboards you see in LA. You know?
Yeah.
Did you slip on a churro at Disneyland? Call me. Te partiste la madre con un pinche churro. Llámame. 1-1-1-1-1-1-1. You know. But yeah, you know, and maybe in some other life there's a chance I could have been a lawyer, you know. But like I said, I grew up under the rule of La Chancla, and I did go to college. I graduated, but I'm pretty sure I got just chancla smack past potential lawyer, potential doctor, potential scientist, and all the way over to liberal arts degree. You know, yeah. So by the time I got to college, I was so exhausted and just anxiety riddled that I ended up taking the easiest, most default fallback degree there is. Anyone care to guess? Sunda?
I guess it's money.
It was communication. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's the one. That's exactly the one. A degree so disrespected that The Simpsons made fun of it in an episode while I was pursuing my degree, and I ignored the warnings. Just the fact that I'm in my 40s trying comedy means that I've ignored all the warnings.
Doing it.
Yeah. But in this episode titled Faith Off, the kicker for Springfield University injures his leg in a big rivalry game. And in the locker room, Dr. Julius Hibbert tries to comfort him and tells him, "Oh, I'm afraid you'll never play football again. At least you can fall back on your degree in communications. Oh, dear Lord, no." And the kicker goes, "Yes, I know he's a funny major. Luchenko learned nothing." Well, it's about 25 years now, and that joke is finally funny to me. Because it is said that comedy is tragedy plus time. And, well, enough time has passed, and the tragedy is a communication degree. You know, despite struggling with my confidence and anxiety, here in LA, though, every now and then, in a city that's designed to just shatter your ego and break you down and just, you know, make you dead inside, every now and then, I do get to feel confident. And that's whenever I walk into a Mexican restaurant, a taqueria, and I overhear someone order something like a chicken quesadilla, chicken fajitas, chimichanga, something like that. By the way, it's a tragedy that the actor Eric Estrada and the singer Celia Cruz never teamed up for anything. They could have had a variety show called Chips and Salsa. That one's on the house. But whenever I hear someone order something in that weird, funky way at a Mexican restaurant and it's my turn to order, I just cannot resist auditioning for a telenovela that nobody's shooting. Just all of a sudden, just, ¿Qué tal, preciosa? Could be a dude, I don't care. Belleza, preciosa, mi reina. En este momento yo deseo 3 tacos de carne asada, 2 churros y una Fanta. Gracias, por favor, muy amable, buen provecho, que Dios te bendiga. And then when I'm feeling extra confident, I'll throw in some bonus words that I think make me sound more Spanish. Just agujeta, ferrocarril y crepúsculo, you know, whatever. And all that means is just shoelace, railroad, and twilight. And also, I have this face and demeanor, so sometimes I'll order in fluent español, and then in return I'll get a, "Okay, so you want 3 tacos." Hijo de tu puta madre. "Fine, Jose, I will also have a side of that green whack-a-mole," whatever it's called. I know what it is. But it doesn't really matter where or when I hablo español, because whenever I do, I go completely overboard. I basically turn into one of those Latino reporters you see on the news. I don't know if anyone still watches the local news, but if you do, pay attention to any reporter whose last name ends in EZ. There's a very good chance that reporter is going to take any and every opportunity to celebrate the rich cultural tapestry of the Spanish language. And that's how I hablo español, like a Latino reporter wrapping up a segment. Something like, "Police don't have any further information on the suspect reporting live from Rancho Santa Margarita. This is Gustavo Gutierrez, el mero más chingón, tú sabes, güey, for ABC 7 News. Back to you, Nancy." Thank you. My name is Billy Ramirez. You can find me at billyramirez.com and on TikTok and Instagram at middle-aged muchacho. I just posted a new video, a new green screen sketch, so check that out. And now, please welcome back our rock, our queen, our North Star, Sunda Kronquist.
I feel like a rock. I feel like I think you're so funny. Billy, we have to do something, though. We have to make this character. I think you need to be stalked.
Stalked?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes, Billy.
By who? Not a murderer.
No. Why do you like my husband? You're all crazy. Like,
There's no good stalkers.
There is, though.
Who's a good stalker?
Schwartz's girlfriend.
Oh!
Not from the stories I've heard.
Listen, if you guys who are watching, we want you to know we have so much going on that I didn't mention. I failed to say things correctly because I'm still a little... That's right. I like that. I wish I could whistle. I can't. I just blow out of my mouth. But if it wasn't for this next gentleman coming up to the stage, I don't know what I would have done this week with all these actors, because I cannot teach them. Not that I can't. I would love to, but this is what he does best. Besides stand up, oh my God, I can't speak.
Stand
This is terrible, Dr. Roth. It screwed me up. He has, and you're sound asleep now. But if it wasn't for someone like Aaron, we wouldn't be able to have a chance to have an after-school class, to have this. And I mean, now these calls are coming in because of the summer camp thing. How about everybody that called that was so interested and they didn't do anything? But now they're interested because it's after school. So I thought maybe you could be doing something too, helping out with Spanish. So you do speak Spanish. Sí, como no. Pues, I'm going to say, when I caught Aaron and Mark dancing, I couldn't believe it. Because Mark is a Spanish Jew, and he was like, Oy ve como va. Querismo. I'm kidding! I was so jealous. I wanted to be the one with Aaron, but your daughter always gets me off the phone. I think you're lying. You just want to hang up. He's like, that's New Zealand, bye! But right now, I want you guys to give your utmost attention to someone who's been a dear friend to me, and a business partner who's asked for getting ready to kick each other's. Let's do this. Let's do it. I talk about our king of acting, the one and only Aaron McIntyre.
Woo! Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we are. We've taken care of Sula now. Good evening, everyone out there in YouTube land, because we have a nice audience here. Very good. Hi, how are you? First, Mark. It wasn't Pelosi's lover, because I actually know who it was, and he was the live-in boyfriend of a woman who used to do a public access TV show in Berkeley. I used to run the public access station, and she did a show called The Naked Truth, where she would get naked every time. And she was like, yeah, she would get, I mean, she actually got married naked in front of City Hall in San Francisco. And, yeah, and of course they arrested her, and she used to do these nude walks down Market Street in San Francisco, down to City Hall, from the Castro all the way down. That was an event. And she had these kids, these little kids, naked, like walking around with a bunch of old men who were also naked. Yeah, so, yeah. So that's who actually hammered him. Sorry, Paul. Yeah, I don't know who you are. I never met you before. Not saying anything bad. I know you were hammered.
He owns a vineyard.
Huh?
He owns a winery.
He owns a winery. Why, he's always hammered. So I was, I am mentally ill, so just want to check in with anybody, if anybody else is certified, because I am certified. I've got a certification in bipolar and ADD, not ADHD, because I'm way too lazy. And yeah, I got other stuff. You know, I like to pull the curtains a certain way, and I got to have the door closed, and you know, so there's a little obsessive compulsive. I just got that. You know, I got that as an adult. Because I know that I look like, you know, I'm in my 30s, but I'm not. So it's twice that plus 5. Just gonna be 65 in December. So if you want to send presents, you can just send them to LA School of Comedy. I'm here anytime. Mostly here at least 3 times a week. But so getting old, you know, my mom actually was really old. My dad was pretty old. You know, he's 90. He was 90 when he died. That's not bad. You know, I'm not gonna make it to 90. Believe me, I don't want to be there. But my mom was 98, and she actually was being taken care of by my alcoholic brother, who was living in the house, and you know, he went to the bar 6 days a week. He would take Sunday off, which was, you know, very Christian of him. But you know, every day at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he'd come up to my mom and he'd go, "Do you need anything?" And she'd go, "No." And he'd go, "Okay," and he'd leave and come back at like 8 o'clock at night to put her to bed. You know, and she would lay in her chairs and listen to her Western novels and stuff like that. Anyway, she fell out of bed the day after COVID hit. So in March, like the day after they announced it, she fell out of bed, and my brother couldn't pick her up because she was too. You know, he was 72. He was 71 at that point, so he couldn't pick her up off the floor, and so he put her into a old folks home. And it was terrible because it was COVID. And so what they did is they took her in the door and they put her in a room and they slammed it, and she was stuck in there. And so she would call me all the time saying, "Get out here, get him out of my house, get him out of my house." Because my brother was now in this beautiful place in southern Colorado, living by himself and drinking all the time. And so she called me all summer telling me to come out. So finally, I could take some time off of work. I went out to take care of her. And I did a really good job because she died. She wanted that. She was ready. As a matter of fact, she used to lay around all day. And I swear to God, she would say, "Goodbye! Goodbye! Goodbye! Goodbye!" And she'd do this whole like song about goodbye, and so anyway, it was good. She had dementia, so you know, one time she tried to trip me. Another time she tried to push over a grandfather clock that we had because it didn't look right. But it was fun. Yeah, it was really fun taking care of her. It was more like a fun house, you know, fun house, like a fun house in a fair, you know, because there's a scary clown going, "Why don't you go back to California?" After she had asked me over and over again to come out. So that was interesting, but you know, I got several things from my parents. I got my mother's bug eyes, so you can see, you know, when I open my eyes, it's kind of scary. But I got you know, I got my dad's hair, or lack thereof, right? If I wear yellow and black shoes, I look like a number 2 pencil. You know, because I got the eraser up here. And I have hair everywhere that I don't want it, right? It's like it grows out of I gotta cut my ears. I gotta shave my ears every few days. It's growing on my back and, you know, my legs and my ass and everywhere. So I got hair everywhere. I was thinking about getting a transplant, you know, like from my chest up to my head, but then, you know, it looked like I had pubic hair on my head, so I decided against that. I got no ass. No ass whatsoever. Well, actually, there is one. You can, you know, if you look really hard, you can see it. But you know, little issues. Got skinny legs, and it's terrible. So I have been alone for about 2 years. You know, I haven't touched another woman in 2 years, which is kind of it's kind of okay. I think I'm done because I am the best lover I have ever had. You know, I am the best lover I have ever had. I'm really good at it. You know, and the thing is that I haven't been with a woman. You know, I say that I haven't been with a woman for 2 years, but in those 2 years, I've actually been with hundreds of women, hundreds of them, because you know. And that's the way that the world is now. They've got websites where all kinds of stuff is going on, and I enjoy that.
That's great for the after school class.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't care. You know, hey, if you're not enlightened, parents, you know, to the fact that your children already know what the hell I'm talking about, then you got a problem.
Tell them.
I did have a pretty torrid affair with a bidet. It was my best friend's bidet. I stayed at their house, and I couldn't tell them about it, you know, because it was their bidet, you know. But it was pretty torrid, you know. But then I left. I couldn't introduce her to my mother because you know she's dead at that point. But yeah, you know, and the thing is, a lot of times people, because you know the bidet was a few years old, but you know a lot of people are like, oh, what about the age difference? You know? I'm like, no. She has seen way more ass than I have in my life. But yeah, so the mental illness, I kind of brought that in a little bit, and it looks like nobody else is mentally ill or doesn't know they are, because we're all mentally ill at some point. What's that?
You said certified.
Certified, yeah. There's no certified people in here, but if you go to a doctor and say pretty much anything that you have problems with, they will diagnose you with something because you want to join the mental health club. Because we've got a song and everything, you know, we've got a rallying cry, and you get to be in the club, and it's very, very important. Everybody's got a brain, so we're all insane. I had a whole song written, but I left it by the board back there. I do have acting classes here, 7 o'clock Tuesday night. So let's see if I can find it quickly. It goes something like I've got. This is how far I've got. Maybe some people like we did with Mondavi. What is it, Mondavi? Is he the guy who made the wine? You know, the Mondavis.
I thought they were pocketbooks.
Anyway, where is it? Here it is. Everybody out there has a brain. Everybody out there has a brain. We all think we all know what it's saying. But when there's mental disorder, and that's where I stopped. So if anybody has anything that I've been thinking about order, or you know, don't run toward the border, or you know, run for the border because Taco Bell doesn't serve people with mental illness. I don't know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. My name is Aaron McIntyre, and right now I'm going to bring up. Oh, you can find me at Aaron McIntyre, and it's AERON. Oh, and I do have merch for the class, Film Actors Cafe.
Nice.
You asked, you know, I'm going to go on because there's nobody else here. You had asked about, you know, the Film Actors, the
Right.
Film Actors Cafe. They don't serve coffee. I figured out what it is that we have a smorgasbord of things that we can do here. We can do podcasts. We can do remote podcasts. So let's say you got a really nice living room and you want to do a podcast there. We can come and set up in about a half an hour, do your podcast, you walk away, and
We keep your house.
You're good, huh?
Right. Well, wait a minute though. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
No, I've already got it, man. I've got the portable setup. I've got it all figured out.
You got it all planned out.
So we got that. We got Sunda doing one-on-ones, and believe me, I did one-on-ones with her, and I'm, you know, and it's all my fault. I'm still not funny. Okay.
Listen.
But we've
great
also
shit.
got kids classes on Saturday from 11 to 2, or you know, 11 till whenever we're done. And the adult classes 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. Drop in, check it out. What else we got? We got shows coming up. We're hoping to get this Karaoke Confidential going, which
It's
you're
not
going
that
to
we
want to
hope.
do.
We are doing it. We're doing it.
We are doing it.
And we have
We
many
just don't know
locations.
where or
No, we just have.
We have 3 locations.
Right, we have to
We're
choose.
going to be doing it on the same night.
We're going to
3
have to
locations.
choose.
All right.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring up Sunda to close this out tonight. Thank you very
Let me
much.
fix this shit. First of
So
all,
glad to have her back.
First of all, I think it's wonderful. Karaoke Confidential is something that no one's done. So many people, as soon as we started talking about it right away, oh, I've always wanted to do this, karaoke and comedy. Well, this is different. This goes beyond the depths. I mean, like, I'm so glad your concept is registered because the people that he's interviewing, all types of people are karaoke people. There are the shy girls that don't talk, that will never come out. But when you give them a chance to sing in front of that, you know, their favorite song, they make it K-pop, like, You know, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to be funny, guys. I feel like I'm dead. Guys, real quick, can I tell you, I'm the only person in the world who gets a doctor in trauma center who is a former cabaret singer. And my daughter's with me, who is a cabaret singer. And nobody's caring, there's blood everywhere. Blood is everywhere. And just, that's my song. So anyway, hats off to you, because you know what I appreciate from Aaron is that it doesn't, all kids are our kids now. You gotta know that. So when you're dealing with these kids and you see them on their tablets and you see them on their phones and they're unable to connect or even disconnect from that world, these kind of classes are really essential. We have a nonprofit organization that we're working with now that we're hoping to help get these kids from the streets to the stage. And if they don't speak English, Billy Ramirez will be there to translate for them with his chaclata. All right? Chaclata. So, in closing, I want to say, this was a great night, thanks to you, thanks to you. I always say, Baruch Hashem, thank you for living, or letting me live. I can't believe I'm breathing, it's not a joke. I'm alive, thank God. Thank God I'm alive. I love you, Mark.
Yeah, I bet.
I do. I'm alive, guys. And so I will see you guys at the Comedy Store. And we're going to see more of, and don't forget, Cinco de Mayo is coming up, after school classes, podcasting. Now here's the change. We come to you. And also with the kids' classes, if you can bring us 4 kids, we'll give your kid one for free, and we won't tell anyone. But it takes a lot for us to do that. Right now we're working in Encino. We have a new client in Encino that we're working with. And I want you to watch me on Prime Video. Nobody tells me anything. Nobody watches. Watch me. It's called Sundar Kronquist Live from Hollywood. And that is about it for that hand. You guys have been great. And I thank you. Please follow us all on all of our social media platforms. And Billy, thank you for always posting and reminding me that I haven't and updated anything. You're right. And find my headshot. Where am I? And I love you guys so much for being here. And Samantha Linderman, wherever you are, you know I love you. And of course, Alejandra, I'll see you for breakfast. Everyone else, Lila Tova, and good night.